the sexual revolution. You read this book by Carl Trueman. I forget the name of it. It's A Strange New World. Phenomenal book. He really talks about the effects of the sexual revolution on males in particular. And what the sexual revolution basically did is it separated marriage from mating from multiplication. That's the terms I like to use. So it separated marriage, meaning that when the sexual revolution came, I think the birth control pill was like 1959, 1960. So what it basically did is it kind of validated feminism, basically showing that, look, as long as we don't feel guilty about being pregnant, there's something that can stop that. I can go and get my career, make as much money as men. Why do I need men? With supermarkets and police officers, who needs men, right? So what that does is, if the woman doesn't need a man, she doesn't need to get married. And when she has sex, it's totally recreational. If it's with a man, sometimes maybe with a woman, right? It's totally recreational.
California, remember.
Right. There's no intentionality of raising a family, right? So therefore, if there is multiplication, the government is my Zoj. I have the welfare system, which makes men totally irrelevant, to where the man, he himself, will feel totally obsolete. You have MGTOW come because of that, men going their own way, which is another movement, totally despising women, etc. So I think, with that intention of having a family and establishing a family, when you have that family, you embrace it and you want to, make more. One of the main reasons for family is offspring. Well, the way of offspring is sex. You want to make sure that it's something that is enjoyable, because men will usually, they'll usually finish before the woman. So the man has to come back. He has to go back, and that's what the Prophet says, make wudu and come back. And there's wisdom behind that, because of the cold water, your blood vessels will
Tighten.
Tighten or get constricted, and then you have to warm yourself back up. 4-play, 6-play, 8-play.
It's interesting. Like I remember hearing the Shamat al-Tirmidhi. And Sheikh Abdullah Nasser Jung, that he was going through it, and it was like, I think it's like one of the very last hadith in that book before like the dream stuff. And it was the intimacy of the Prophet ﷺ. And there's a hadith in there in the Shamat. So it's very famous. It gets spread a lot. And that the Aisha, she never saw the Prophet ﷺ naked, or like they're always under a sheet. So you hear this, like you're saying, like, oh, we have hayat, but not like with our spouse. But then people who read that hadith and they're like, oh, but they never saw each other. They were always covered. But I remember Sheikh Abdul Nasser specifically, he got to that hadith, he read it, he's like, oh, by the way, this is like weak. We don't follow this.
Half of the whole law. And may Allah preserve Sheikh Abdul Nasser, my man. No, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. No, I think.
But a lot of people think it's legit. That's why I wanted to add. That's why you get like really like extremely conservative, like when even in the bedroom, it's like,
right.
And like your wife just does the thing like a
right. And I mean, it's important that the man, that he's smooth, man. The man has to be smooth with his wife, man. The Prophet ﷺ, when Aisha would drink from a portion of the cup, what would he do? He would look from where she drank it, and he would put his lips right there, smooth. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have to know how to be. You know what particularly. It's a whole other issue, but I mean, it's similar.
The thing is, like, sometimes parents don't exhibit like this cute stuff at home growing up. Like they're very like platonic, right? And then no girls, no boys, and then all of a sudden two get married and like they don't know what to do.
And, how many times I hear that shit? Wallahi, I've heard that so many times. I don't know the first thing to do. And what will they do? Because the reality is, a lot of these guys, what's the appropriate word? They're
just
lifetime members.
The inappropriate one.
Well, they're lifetime members of Pornhub. They're watching porn and they're masturbating to how long? So all they know is what they've seen. There was a situation, brother got married. He had a box. He gave the box to his wife and he wanted her to wear that. She got scared. And another thing, the man has to be wise. But if he's watching porn, he doesn't understand accountability. He doesn't understand the vulnerability that she's giving to you. You have to be very wise in that, right? And not take advantage of that and not use that for your own personal benefit. So he talks about that in The Strange New World, Carl Trueman, mentioning that from the effects of the sexual revolution is that, we separate those three: marriage, multiplication, and marriage, mating, and multiplication. But what happens is when you just make mating recreational, you will hear men say things like, I just got to get my rocks off. I just want to get off.
Yeah.
In the music, it's totally there. I mean, from Drake to Flake to Snake, all of them. It's just like, I'm just going to get off. If she wants to have a good time, that's fine. But I just want to make sure I get off, and I'll send her home via Uber. That mentality happens in the Muslim Ummah. When the brother gets married, he just wants the body. The body is in ends. It's not the ends. It's the means to something else.
Yeah.
When it actually should be the ends. Like, you're looking to have a romantic relationship with her because she's going to be the mother of your children. It's totally different. because it affects the way you deal with them, the way you talk with them, the time you spend with them, the quality of time you spend with them. Very, very important.
Yeah, the porn thing's a big deal. That's
Huge,
you know, it affects marriages are dropping left and right. I mean, people are in sexless marriages because of this. Women are getting khula from their husbands, right? Because the husband can't perform, and you find out he's addicted to pornography.
Yeah.
Right. So happening more often than not, and we're probably at a tipping point where this stuff's going to affect women too, because the culture has taken to the point where, like, the music you're talking about now, there's female artists who are glorifying.
Dude, it's just normal. A normal Netflix or Prime show is pornography, except they just call it pornography. And women are watching that, like, you know, consuming Bridgerton, all these very, very famous shows on Netflix, the ones like the highest marketed ones. What do you think? Like, why is everyone, they're being consumed by men and women, but they're explicit, X-rated scenes in there.
SubhanAllah.
So, I mean, that is pornography for men and women. It's the same thing. Just they don't call it that, right? Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
The kids in the room.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, especially when a young Muslim man that we hope to be a leader of a family is watching this, the way he views women. And that's why when you find a lot of these red pill movements, it's very, very, it's catch-22. Because a lot of these red pill guys, I mean, there's different movements under them, you know, that really, really are misogynistic in the way that they view women. You know what I'm saying? You know, when talking about
Tom Tomasi or whatever.
Rollo Tomasi, the rational male, right?
Yeah.
Some of them look at him as the godfather of the red pill movement. But
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
he's not Muslim. So firstly, when it comes to his purpose of life, it's not going to coincide with our Islamic values, right? Some of the things he may say that coincide with the fitrah. The reason I like to watch these guys and these shows is because there are a lot of fitri elements that we must embrace in order to talk to our men to let them know. Oh yeah, he's correct on the issue of hypergamy, that women want to date up.